Welcome to Wellness Rebranded.
We know there is so much conflicting health and fitness advice out there.
And you're tired of the wellness fads, endless diets, and impossible standards that make you feel like nothing you do is ever enough.
You're ready to tune into your mind and body and feel empowered around health.
We're the healing trio here to help you redesign your relationships with food, fitness, and yourself.
I'm Elizabeth, registered dietitian and certified intuitive eating counselor.
I'm Maria, licensed mental health therapist.
And I'm Tara, personal trainer.
Together, we're changing the narrative on health away from diet culture, hustle culture, and toxic positivity and towards healthful self-care.
So grab your water bottle, get ready to laugh, learn, and grow, and let's start rebranding your wellness journey.
I am grateful for this experience. It was beautiful to see women who do not know each other come together with openness, vulnerability, and acceptance of who we are in this moment. Another testimonial says, I didn't think that in a few hours I could really relax and reset. Loved coming to this retreat and feeling cared for and learning how to better care for me. And another one is, this time filled my heart with joy. Ladies, this is just a few of the many testimonials we got after our first ever Wellness Rebranded retreat. Woo! Did you listeners know that Wellness Rebranded actually held their first day retreat on, what date was that?
February 7th.
February 7th from 9 to 4. It was called Exhale. A retreat for women.
You just said, I thought you said something entirely different. You said it was called Exhale, right? I thought you said it was cold as hell, which it was.
As hell?
It was cold as hell.
And it was called Exhale.
Okay, that is not okay. That is not okay. So we either edit this or I don't know.
No, we have to leave that in. It's funny.
It's funny. I was like, dang, she's really like focused on it was cold as hell.
I mean, it was cold as hell.
It really
guys.
was. It was like the most Arctic day of the whole year.
My tropical plants that I brought to like make it feel all lush and tropical got like frostbite on
I'm
them.
actually really sad about that. I like feel really sad on behalf of the plants.
Okay, I'm stuck. Let's rewind here for a minute. Our retreat was called Exhale.
That still sounded like cold.
What? Exhale.
No, it's not the exhale. It's the calls.
Anyway, you know something that stayed with me after this retreat? So when we came in, just so you have an idea, beautiful woman out there listening and wondering, what did that look like and how can I be part of it? We had 19 women get together on top of the three of us. I mean, in addition to the three of us. And it was interesting when at the beginning we asked them, what is your intention or what were you looking for with a retreat like this? And we got excellent answers. That was exactly what we had in mind too when we designed this retreat. And some of those things that these women were looking for were self-care, sense of community, relaxing their nervous system or exhaling, me time, breathing, learning, just feeling overall supported and steady and cared for. And I think they got it.
Yeah, I think so too. When you were reading the one that said, I didn't think that in just a few short hours I could relax. That one actually, when we read all of the feedback afterwards, that's actually the one that jumped out at me also, because I remember people saying in the beginning, like, I'm here and I want to relax, but also like I have this nervous energy or, you know, like I'm thinking about stuff at home or like one thing that I learned or took away from that day is how little space a lot of women give ourselves to do that, to actually exhale and put away the to-do list and just to be present for and with yourself. And then in community with other women, in particular, in a space where you can be raw and honest and vulnerable and share what's on your heart that doesn't just happen every day.
I think that's so hard too because life is so busy. Mm-hmm. We have so many expectations that are placed on us or maybe we place on ourselves, and it is really like difficult to kind of carve out some of that time for you to nurture yourself. So when you have like a planned experience that is based on that, it's even better. You know, at least it's something, right? Thinking about launching a podcast or taking yours to the next level? Juliana Barbati and her team are the experts you need. They take care of everything from episode funnel design to production and marketing, so you can focus on creating content that connects. Check out julianabarbati.com and mention that we sent you.
So one question that we asked participants that day that I never asked myself before until I actually found that question. And for me, it was life-changing because something that we found we all had, or most of us had in common, and we realized in that retreat, is feeling being pulled, how you say, like being pulled from different...
In a million directions.
In a million directions. I feel like that constantly, okay? As a mother, as a business owner, as all these things that I need to do. Somebody is always needing something from me.
Yeah, I think the way we talked about it that day was like, how many tabs do you have open in your brain at any given time? And the answer is like way too many.
Way too many.
Yeah.
And the question that we asked women that day that I think is an excellent question is like, what does your body do when nothing is required of you? We welcome these women asking them like today, right now, during these hours you're here, nothing is going to be asked of you. And that's, for me, is like, wow, like already my nervous system is like, okay, nobody needs anything from me. I don't need to anticipate anybody's needs. I don't need to feel that I should help with something or that, you know, I'm the one who needs to remember something. I'm the emotional caretaker of other people. We do that on a daily basis and it is exhausting.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
That was a mic drop moment there.
I know.
Yes,
you stunned
that
us.
is exhausting. Let's all just take a moment.
Well, but it's true. I mean, society has conditioned us to do a lot of things. And how many times we associate our worth with how much we do. And we've talked about this in this podcast before. How much are we tying our value with how much we do? And guess what? Your worth is what you think of yourself when you're doing nothing, when you're not helping anybody, when you're not... You know, by the way, you saw that this actor died, the Van Dyke, James Vanderbeek. Well, close. James Vanderbeek. He put out a video, somebody put out a video that he recorded some time ago, and it really stayed with me because he was saying at the beginning, I identify myself as an actor, and that didn't really do any much for me. Then I identify myself as a father who was taking care of a wife and kids. And then when I got diagnosed with cancer and I was a weak male going through treatment and knowing now or facing now the possibility of my mortality, I started questioning myself, who am I really? Who am I if I'm not an actor, if I'm not a father, if I'm not a husband? Because now I'm just this person that cannot help or take their kids to bed. And then he said, okay, I am a human worthy of love. And that's exactly what it comes down to.
That's the point, right?
That is the point. But how many times we're conditioned that we need to be of use to other people or thinking that we're performing very well to be worthy, and has nothing to do with that.
Yeah. And obviously that was a huge focus of conversation and frankly reframing during that day that we spent with those women. But it also just makes me think about, you know, many of our listeners are in midlife. And I feel like that's a time when people are asking that question of themselves. I know my clients come in and they're like, gosh, you know, I don't know who I am anymore. My kids are out of the house or on their way out of the house. And maybe, you know, friends are retiring or, you know, my life is changing. Relationships are changing. Like, I don't know who I am. And I don't know how to, usually in the context of the conversation I'm having it with people is like, self-care. Like I haven't prioritized myself. Now I don't know who I am. I'm trying to figure it out. And also I have no idea like how to really do this self-care thing because I've spent most of my life taking care of other people.
Somebody else. Yeah. And is the question like, yeah, who am I when I'm not being useful?
Mm-hmm.
because we're tying that to our worth as well. And what am I usually holding that no one else sees?
Yeah, I thought that was actually a really powerful part of the conversation that you led that day of who am I when I'm not carrying all this stuff. And I forget the way you phrased it, but that was really powerful for me to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think my most powerful takeaway from the retreat was, Maria, when you went around at the end and gave everybody the little heart and you said to everyone, this is a reminder of that you have value, not because of what you do, but because of who you are.
This is a reminder that you matter, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. And that is important reminder. And the difference was going around person by person after they said their name and they read an affirmation that they chose for themselves when they came in. And then that looking up in their eyes, say this, how many times people say this to us.
I'm like I literally have chills right now, guys, because my body is remembering being in that circle with all those women and people's reaction to it was like so powerful and moving.
I also think part of the power of that was hearing it repeated so many times. Because Maria could have given all of us one of the things and said, this is a reminder that
then she wouldn't
matter.
have been looking you in the eye, though. And that was the part that you're right. That doesn't happen very often.
Because not only these women received that message that day, but also were witnesses of other women receiving the message as well. So like you said, it was like a repetition. I mean, I said it 21 times because it included the two of you. And
thanks for that.
It was an important reminder, but think about it in a way how not okay it is that we get to our 40s, 50s, 60. We even have an 80-something-year-old among the women who came, and we haven't heard this enough, or we still don't believe it.
Yeah.
That's the question, right?
Can you imagine how powerful it would be if the whole world actually believed that?
No, it would be dangerous. I think the world
and treated other people that way.
Well, I think our society, again, don't take me, I'm not saying this because now I'm like a world hater, please, but think about it.
Burn it down.
Maybe society has benefited from minimizing women and making us believe that we have to take care of everybody else and that our worth is tied to that.
Oh, correct.
Right?
Society absolutely benefits from the unpaid labor of women.
Well, not only that, but also us minimizing ourselves because we're only worthy if we're doing something, or we look a certain way, or we have these many successes, whatever success means for that person.
Well, that's what I was going to say is, that moment when you went around and said that to everybody and everybody received it was so powerful. But guys, think about, what do we talk about on the podcast week after week after week? Think about how many, just like the inundation of messages that we get that do tell us our worth is tied to our appearance, to our weight, to our body shape and size, to what we're doing, to how successful, quote unquote, however you define that, to how much money you make, to how much everything, right? To just strip it all away like we were able to create that day was amazing.
And I'm done with that, by the way.
What?
With all that messaging.
Oh.
I am
hell yeah.
All that.
Well, I think we all are. That's literally why we're here and why we have this podcast.
But yes,
but no, I hear you.
Because here we talked about this too. Why we have to even minimize when we say something. I just did it. I was telling you guys hey guys, maybe this doesn't sound that well, but I'm really good at this, right? And I said something.
We corrected you.
Why do we have to, start the sentence with apologizing that I'm going to recognize that I have a really good talent about such and such? But we do it. And we talked about that day when somebody comes and say, hey, Elizabeth, you are so smart. What's wrong with you saying, I know. Isn't that awesome? Usually we were like, really? Oh, thank you. You are too. Sometimes I'm smart. Sometimes I'm not. We try to soften it. Why? No, you're smart. The smartest of this podcast.
I was waiting for it.
Why? Thank you.
But hey, if you're listening to this episode, there's two things for you. One, these spaces now exist because Wellness Rebranded just had their first
Guys, we're fired up about this. It was like we had high expectations. We curated this so thoughtfully and intentionally, and we blew our own expectations
it's true.
out of the water.
Yes.
I mean, we all left there like, wow, we created something really special,
It's
really
so powerful.
impactful,
Yeah.
and we need to do it again way sooner than we thought.
Than we thought.
Right,
We
like-
had chocolate covered strawberries.
Enough said. It was funny, people's reactions to those. It was just like there were a lot of little touches like that you could tell.
Well,
People, the women just felt cared for.
yes, imagine coming to a space that was perfectly crafted to make you feel comfortable with blankets, rugs, comfortable
Fireplace.
seating, fire, music, plants.
Yeah, the music was great that day,
Music
by the
was
way.
great. And then other women that came in the same vibe, to be supportive of each other, to be open, like that testimonial said that I read at the beginning. And then you had a nice breakfast, also chosen so well, because just so you know, Elizabeth can be a PIA when it comes to food. Okay. So you would never come to a retreat and think that the food was like a last minute thought. That cannot. and
Elizabeth is a
never happen.
foodie and a dietitian.
Yeah, if Elizabeth is on vacation and Tara and I doing a retreat on ourselves, then lower your expectations. Like for me, I mean, any food was fine. But for Elizabeth Harris, absolutely not. So everything was so well
true.
chosen to be nutritious and covering all the colors of the rainbow and
delicious.
and delicious and helping you in every single way and all that.
Could you send that review to my husband?
I was thrilled to take home all those leftovers.
Yeah.
I mean, how much of a fight was the food that we wanted there, right, Tara? And
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, nope, that. I'm like, girl, you do you. And it worked.
I liked it because I was like, okay, Elizabeth's
well.
in charge of food. Amen.
Thank goodness.
I'll be in charge of music.
Yeah.
Okay, all this to say that there was nutritious food and the space was nice and there was tea and there was activities planned after the other with time to relax and connect with each other. So yeah, so we are going to have our next retreat.
Wait, what was number 2?
Oh,
You
what's
said
that?
there was 2 things.
Oh, did I?
You did.
What
I'm
were
on
the
the
2
edge of my
things?
seat. I didn't know. That's why I was waiting to hear.
What did I say? 2 things about what?
You said there was 2 things.
2 things that in this episode you should know.
Yeah.
And the first one was all of that.
Okay, let me make it up because I forgot. So the first thing is this is how it could look like. And the second thing is to register.
To register.
Registration is open and we're having our next retreat in May. And it's going to be, if not the same.
It's going to be even better, frankly, because it was awesome and we learned.
We ironed out some kinks now.
Yes. And you're all invited. There is a limit because, yes, we want to have you all, but we want it also to be intimate and well for you to be taken good care of.
And it will be here in Annapolis. So obviously, if you're local, that's easy. If you're not local, Annapolis is a great place to spend the week.
Especially in May.
Yeah.
I mean,
Annapolis in May is the best.
if you're not local, I'm sorry for the FOMO, but
No, they can still come.
They can still
Annapolis
come.
is a great place to spend the weekend.
my dream,
Bring your girlfriend and come.
my
Yeah.
dream
They'll love
is
it.
that we do these retreats a whole weekend soon.
Oh, yeah, mine
That's a
too.
dream
Yes,
because
also.
there's so much to cover and so much to.
I totally agree. And I want to do like an overnight thing. That honestly, that was the biggest piece of feedback was like they wanted more time.
Yes.
Right. And it was an all day retreat.
Yes. Need a cleaner home without the stress? Our partner Clean is a trusted cleaning service based in Anne Arundel County, serving homes and businesses across the DMV area. They do it all, from routine tidying to deep cleanings, move-in, move-out jobs, Airbnb turnovers, and janitorial services. Their team is experienced, reliable, and focused on giving you back time and peace in your space. And here's the best part. Mention Wellness Rebranded and you'll get $100 off your first cleaning. Visit chrisclean.com, that's KRISSKLEAN.com. Call 410-858-5620 and check the show notes for all the details. So, women out there, a couple of reminders for you. One, like Tara said, you matter. not because of what you do, but because of who you are. And the work is not to drop all the things that you're carrying overnight, because we understand there's a lot that we carry for ourselves and for others. The work, though, is to stop using all that invisible load as evidence that you matter.
Yeah.
Because now you know that's not what makes you worth it. Your existence is what makes you worth it. And you're here.
Love that.
If you want another episode on self-worth, we did one, episode 172 with Alison Loftus about leadership and self-worth that was so good. So when you're done listening to this one, just pop on over to that one and you will not be disappointed.
And check the show notes for the link on how to register for the next Wellness Rebranded retreat. Don't forget to share this episode and any other episode that you have enjoyed, and invite more women to be part of this movement and this community of rebranding your wellness journey. Thank you for listening. If you want to connect with me outside of this podcast, you can find me on Instagram at coaching_therapist.
I'm Elizabeth. You can find me at Elizabeth Harris Nutrition, or in my Facebook group, Health and Healing with Intuitive Eating.
And I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Tara De Leon Fitness. Guys, if you loved this episode or any of our other episodes, we would love it if you would leave us a review on Apple Podcast. It really, really helps us get the non-diet word out to the rest of the world. So please leave us a review.
Yes, thank you.